how do you see AI reshaping the banking landscape?
With AI specifically, I think is going to be fundamentally change the entire banking space.
What would Goldman Sachs or Evercore look like if it was built?
99% of calls are inbound calls to us complaining about something.
AI or fintech replace traditional banks.
I think, first of all, I remember him saying banks are dinosaurs.
And their potential concern about AI making it.
But look how elevated it was in 2022, and it started.
Or machine learning or LLM models that we talk about. These are very, very important part of the entire.
In 22 and 23 of AI.
Talked about it in 1997, and he was dead wrong. He probably agreed to that.
Think about the last time you had a problem with your bank account. Maybe it was a fraudulent charge on your debit card, a locked account while you were traveling abroad, or a simple question about your current mortgage rate. You open the banking app on your phone, where you call the customer service number printed on the back of your card. You probably spoke to someone, or at least you thought you did. What if I told you that the patient voice guiding you through resetting your password, or the seemingly brilliant analyst who just approved your credit card application in 3 seconds flat, was not a person at all? We have been heavily conditioned by movies and pop culture to believe that artificial intelligence replacing human jobs will be a loud, dramatic event. We expect to see humanoid robots in business suits handing out commercial loans, or glowing holographic projections replacing branch managers in the lobby. But the reality of the AI revolution in the financial sector is far more subtle and, frankly, much more profound. AI is quietly, systematically, and invisibly replacing bank workers. And the most terrifying part of this entire transition is that as customers, we do not even notice it happening. In fact, we actively prefer it. Today, we are going behind the heavy curtain of the global banking industry. We will explore the hidden history of banking automation, examine the real-life artificial intelligence systems that are already processing billions of dollars in transactions every single day, and uncover the quiet, sweeping layoffs that Wall Street is deliberately keeping out of the bold headlines. By the end of this deep dive, you will never look at your mobile banking app the same way again. To truly understand where we are going, we have to look at where we have been. The panic over technology replacing bank workers is not a new phenomenon. In 1967, Barclays Bank in London installed the world's very first automated teller machine, famously known as the ATM. At the time, labor unions and leading economists completely panicked. They predicted the mass, immediate extinction of a human bank teller. The logic seemed absolutely flawless. If a machine could dispense cash 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without needing a salary, bathroom breaks, or health insurance, why would banks continue to pay humans to do it? But something incredibly strange happened. The actual number of bank tellers did not plummet. In the United States, the number of tellers actually increased for decades after the ATM was widely introduced. Why did this happen? Because ATMs made it significantly cheaper to operate a physical bank branch. Since the cost of running a branch dropped, banks opened vastly more branches across the country. The teller's job did not disappear, it simply evolved. They stopped being human calculators and cash dispensers, and instead became relationship managers. They focused on customer service, resolving complex issues, and selling financial products like mutual funds and home equity loans. Economists call this phenomenon the productivity paradox. The core idea is that technology automates specific tasks, which lowers costs, increases demand, and ultimately creates entirely new categories of jobs. But here is the crucial, fundamental difference today. AI is not just automating the physical, mechanical task of handing over paper cash. It is automating cognition. It is automating human judgment, natural language processing, and complex, multivariable decision-making. The ATM replaced the teller's hands. Artificial intelligence is replacing the banker's brain. And this time around, the historical safety net of the productivity paradox might not be enough to save the workforce. Let us start with the front line of this revolution, customer service. This is where the replacement is the most invisible to the average consumer, primarily because it is cleverly disguised as a feature you actively asked for. Ultimate convenience. Meet Erica. Erica is Bank of America's highly advanced, AI-driven virtual financial assistant. Launched to the public in 2018, she does not just read from script to answer basic frequently asked questions. She actively analyzes your personal spending habits, predicts your upcoming bills, warns you about duplicate charges before they clear, and seamlessly helps you navigate the mobile app. As of late 2023, Erica had surpassed 37 million active users and had handled more than 1.5 billion individual client interactions. Let's put that truly staggering number into a human perspective. If a highly efficient human customer service representative handles about 50 calls or live chats in a standard 8-hour shift, Erica's 1.5 billion interactions represent the annual workload of roughly 15,000 to 20,000 full-time human employees. 15,000 jobs, entirely absorbed by a single software program. And the data shows that customers absolutely love her. Why? Because she is available at 3 in the morning on Sunday. She does not get tired. She never loses her temper. She does not have a bad day. And most importantly, she does not put you on hold for 45 minutes listening to looped, low-quality smooth jazz. This is the absolute genius of the quiet replacement. The bank does not frame this transition as, we fired 15,000 people to save money. It is framed as, we are innovating to serve you better and faster. The customer gets instant service. The bank saves hundreds of millions of dollars in payroll and overhead, and the displaced human workers are quietly absorbed into natural attrition. That means when older workers retire or younger workers quit for better opportunities, those positions are simply frozen and deleted from the payroll. But customer service and chatbots are just the very tip of the iceberg. The real, multi-trillion-dollar transformation is happening deep in the back office, in the windowless floors of corporate headquarters. If you think AI is just for consumer-facing chatbots, you're missing the most lucrative application of machine learning in the modern economy. The most numerous and highly paid jobs in banking are not on the front line dealing with the public. They are in compliance, loan underwriting, legal contract review, and risk assessment. These jobs require reading, understanding, and cross-referencing thousands of pages of incredibly dense legal and financial documents. Historically, this required literal armies of highly paid junior analysts, paralegals, and compliance officers. Enter JPMorgan Chase, the largest bank in the United States by assets. A few years ago, they quietly unveiled a proprietary AI program called COIN, which stands for Contract Intelligence. COIN was designed to do one highly specific, incredibly tedious thing: review complex commercial loan agreements and extract critical data points, covenants, and clauses. Before COIN was deployed, loan officers and corporate lawyers at JPMorgan spent an estimated 360,000 hours every single year just reviewing these documents. It was tedious, incredibly expensive, and highly prone to human error. A tired human working at 11 at night will eventually miss a crucial $1 million clause buried on page 84 of a legal document. When JPMorgan deployed COIN, it was tasked with doing the exact same amount of work, but it completed the annual workload in a matter of seconds. 360,000 hours of human labor reduced to mere seconds of computing time. That is not a simple efficiency upgrade. That is the total, complete eradication of an entire department's primary function. The junior lawyers and analysts whose entire career was built on reviewing these documents suddenly found their core skill set obsolete on a Tuesday morning. And JPMorgan Chase is far from alone in this endeavor. Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, and HSBC are all aggressively deploying machine learning models for fraud detection, anti-money laundering checks, and credit underwriting. Take the world of anti-money laundering, or AML, for example. For decades, banks have been legally required to monitor transactions for suspicious activity to prevent terrorists and cartels from moving dirty money. Historically, this was done by human investigators. But human investigators are slow, and they are terrible at spotting complex, hidden patterns. When an account showed slightly suspicious activity, it was flagged and sent to a human. The investigator would spend hours reviewing transaction histories, calling the customer, and writing lengthy compliance reports. The problem was that the old software generated massive amounts of false positives. Up to 95% of the alerts were completely harmless, wasting thousands of human hours. Today, advanced AI models analyze millions of transactions in real time, mapping complex networks of shell companies and offshore accounts in milliseconds. They instantly determine the true probability of fraud or money laundering, automatically locking compromised accounts or approving legitimate transactions without a human ever needing to look at the data. The human investigators are not necessarily fired en masse. They're simply reassigned to manage the AI, or more often, they're just not replaced when they leave the company. The sheer volume of human labor required to keep the global financial system legally compliant has been slashed by a fraction. This brings us to the middle management squeeze and the concept of managed attrition. So, what actually happens to the humans whose jobs are being hollowed out? The banking industry has a very clean, corporate, boardroom-friendly euphemism for this massive shift: digital transformation. When a major bank implements enterprise AI, they rarely execute mass, dramatic, movie-style layoffs all at once. That causes terrible public relations, angers labor unions, and can cause the bank stock price to plummet due to perceived instability. Instead, they use a highly effective corporate strategy called managed attrition. They simply freeze hiring for specific analytical and middle management roles. As older workers retire with their pensions, or younger, tech-savvy workers quit for higher-paying jobs in the Silicon Valley tech sector, those jobs are quietly deleted from the corporate org chart. The workload is permanently absorbed by the AI, and the remaining human workers are told they must upskill to manage the new algorithms. We can see this playing out in real time with the massive restructuring at Citigroup. In 2023, Citigroup announced a sweeping, aggressive plan to cut roughly 20,000 jobs, which was about 10% of its entire global workforce. While the bank publicly cited macroeconomic headwinds, inflation, and a need to streamline operations, internal memos and deep industry analysis explicitly mentioned flattening middle management layers and leaning heavily into technology and automation. The message from the executive suites was crystal clear. Middle management, compliance, and analytical roles are the primary targets for the AI revolution. Even human jobs that do survive this purge are changing fundamentally in their day-to-day reality. The traditional bank relationship manager is becoming what industry insiders quietly call a phantom worker. Think back to the 1990s. Your local branch manager knew your name, knew your spouse, knew what your kids were doing, and understood your personal financial goals based on years of face-to-face conversation. By the 2010s, a regional relationship manager might handle 500 clients, communicating mostly via email and quick phone calls. Today, a single human advisor at a major wealth institution is expected to oversee a portfolio of thousands of clients. They rely entirely on AI-driven dashboards to tell them exactly who to call that morning, what specific financial product to pitch, and exactly when to intervene to prevent a client from leaving for a competitor. The human is no longer the financial expert. The human is reduced to being the legal signature, the compliance requirement, and the empathetic face for a cold, calculating algorithm. The AI does the heavy lifting of data analysis, market forecasting, and risk assessment, and the human simply delivers the pre-packaged, algorithmically generated conclusion to the client. You might be sitting there thinking, okay, my basic checking account is handled by a chatbot, and my small business loan paperwork is reviewed by a machine learning algorithm. But my long-term investments, my retirement portfolio, my family's wealth, I still want a human being, a flesh and blood financial advisor to handle that. For now, maybe you were right, but the final, most lucrative frontier of banking AI is already here, and it is moving faster than almost anyone realizes. Generative AI in wealth management. Companies like Betterment and Wealthfront have already spent the last decade proving that algorithms can manage investment portfolios, execute complex tax loss harvesting strategies, and automatically rebalance assets much more efficiently and with significantly lower fees than the average human financial advisor. But those were just simple, rule-based algorithms. Now, the traditional legacy banks are catching up, and they're integrating massive large language models into their wealth management platforms. These new AI systems can ingest a client's entire financial life in a single second. We're talking about checking accounts, credit card debts, real-time market trends, credit scores, tax brackets, and deeply personal life goals. The AI processes all of this fragmented data and generates a hyper-personalized, comprehensive, decades-long financial plan in milliseconds. Imagine calling your bank in the very near future, perhaps just a year or two from now. You will not be routed to an overseas call center, and you will not be put on hold. You will be instantly connected to an AI voice agent that sounds exactly like a seasoned, highly empathetic veteran financial planner. It will know your name. It will remember that you wanted to start a college fund for your youngest child 3 years ago. It will know that you are worried about inflation eating into your retirement savings. And it will instantly restructure your mortgage and shift your asset allocation to save you $200 a month based on real-time global market data that a human could never process in their lifetime. It will be absolutely flawless. It will be incredibly convenient, highly personalized, and available at any hour of the day. And it will require absolutely zero human financial advisors to operate. The replacement of the human wealth manager will not be a dramatic, newsworthy firing event. It will be a seamless, silent, frictionless upgrade that customers actively choose and demand, simply because the AI version is better, faster, and vastly cheaper. The story of artificial intelligence in the banking sector is not a sci-fi tale about robots taking over the world. It is a quiet, incremental, and highly profitable replacement of human cognition with machine efficiency. From the 360,000 hours of human labor saved in a single second by JPMorgan's coin, to the 1.5 billion customer interactions flawlessly handled by Bank of America's Erica, the great transition is already well underway. The bank of the future is not a grand marble building with teller cages that you walk in on a Friday afternoon. It is a silent, invisible algorithm that you carry in your pocket every single day. The question we need to be asking is no longer if this massive shift will happen. It is already happening all around us. The real, philosophical question is this: as these systems become entirely indistinguishable from human interaction, what exactly do we lose when the human element is completely, permanently removed from our financial lives? I want to hear your perspective on this. Would you trust a completely AI-driven system to manage your mortgage, your business loans, or your life savings? Or do you believe the human element is entirely irreplaceable when it comes to your financial security? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you found this deep dive valuable, please hit that like button to support the channel. And make sure to subscribe so you do not miss our next educational breakdown of how technology is quietly reshaping our world. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next one.